data, single channel data, and multi-channel data. So in the case of an analog data acquisition system, just we'll have a transducers and then we'll have a signal conditioning. After that, we'll have a DAC board, and finally we'll have a processors or computers or to be an output device. So input from sensors, which will be used in a plug board, and then finally we'll be processing into an computers. Okay. When you are saying about an systems which is consisting of an transducers or sensors. So we'll have a signal conditioner. So the transducers is used to convert the physical quantity into an electrical quantity. So we know that the best example of transducers ought to be the strain gauge, thermocouples, piezoelectric device, photosensitives. So it generates a voltage proportional to the physical quantity. The signal conditioner device, which includes supporting circuitry for the transducer, it allows the output voltage of transducers to amplify up to desired level. It also converts the output voltage to desired form so that it will be accepted by the next stage. It produces the conditions in transducers so that they work properly. It also provides excitation powers and balancing circuits. Whereas in the case of a multiplexer, it allows a single channel to share it with more than one input quantity. It accepts multiple analog inputs. With the help of multiplexer, we can transmit more than one quantity using same channel. The multiplexers are mostly used when many quantities are to be transmitted. Similarly, also when the distance between the transmitting end and receiving end is more, the multiplexer are used. Multiplexers reduce the cost of installations, maintenance, and periodic replacement of channels if those are used for separate input signals. What about in the case of an calibrating equipment? The calibration is carried out. This is called a pre-calibration. Similarly, after each test, calibration is carried out, and it is called post-calibration. They usually consist of millivolt calibrations of all input circuit and shunt calibrations of all bridge type transducers. What about the integrating equipment? Actually, this block is used for integration or the summation of a quantity. The digital techniques are normally used for integration purposes. When you are saying about a visual display devices, they are necessary to monitor the input signal continuously. These devices include panel meters, numeric displays, single or multi-channel CROs, storage, etc. Whereas in the case of an analog recorders, these are required to record the output signal. These analog recorders include strip chart recorder, magnetic tape recorder, etc. Whereas in the case of an analog computers, these are used as data reduction device. The output voltage of the analog computer may be converted to digital form for further computations. Even though the accuracy of analog computation is comparatively less than the digital one, the analog computers are used because of its less cost. Automated data acquisition systems. So we'll have a data loggers and computers with plug-in ports. So when you are saying about a data loggers, it is used for monitoring the inputs from a large number of sensors. Whereas the computers with plug-in ports, so just you will be having the plug-in port. Whereas in the case of digital data, it handles analog signals, it performs measurements, it converts analog signal into digital data and handles it. And then these are all the elements of the ecosystems. What about the transducers, signal conditioner, multiplexer, A to D converters, and then you're having. So then after that, we'll have a single channel data acquisition system. So in single channel, the data acquisition system, actually signal conditioner followed by A to D, following repetitive conditions of free running, internally determined rate. The outputs are in digital code words, including over range indications. The digital outputs are further fed to a storage or printer device or a digital computer device or a digital computer for analysis. The popular digital panel meter is well-known example of this. So the major two drawbacks is to be very slow and the BCD has to change into binary coding. While it is free-running, data from A to D converter is transferred to the interface system at a rate determined by the DPM itself. The multi-channel data acquisition system can be time-shared by two or more input sources. Depending on the desired properties of the multiplex system, a number of techniques are employed for such time-shared measurements. When you are saying about its applications, it is used for test and measurement applications. It is used for medical applications. It can be used in national research and development laboratory applications for radar, lidar, sonar, atomic, and particle physics. We'll have industrial applications also. Okay.